For over 1,000 years, the Byzantine Empire endured. Born from the ashes of Rome, it became the guardian of ancient knowledge, faith, and power. At its heart stood Constantinople, a city like no other. Its walls towering above the Bosporus, its domes shining like gold beneath the sun. To travelers, merchants, and pilgrims, it was the jewel of the world, a place where Europe and Asia met, where East and West intertwined. The city pulsed with life. Markets overflowed with silks from China, spices from India, and treasures from Africa. Scholars debated in echoing halls, copying manuscripts by candlelight, preserving the wisdom of Greece and Rome. Priests led processions through the great Hagia Sophia, its vast dome seeming to float upon heaven itself. Constantinople was not merely a city, it was a symbol, the last living heir of the Roman Empire. Yet beneath its beauty, cracks began to show. Byzantium had once ruled vast lands stretching from Italy to the Middle East, but centuries of war, rebellion, and invasion took their toll. Still, the walls of Constantinople held firm. For 1,000 years, no army could breach them. Stone towers rose high, guarded by brave soldiers. The mighty Theodosian walls, built in the 5th century, were said to be unbreakable. In the spring of 1453, the world turned its gaze toward Constantinople. Sultan Mehmed II marched with a force unlike any the city had ever seen. Over 80,000 soldiers, cavalry and janissaries, archers and engineers, and alongside them, weapons that would change the art of war forever. Massive cannons cast in bronze, so large that oxen struggled to drag them across the land. Each shot thundered like an earthquake, sending stone and dust flying. Inside Constantinople, the mood was desperate yet unyielding. Emperor Constantine XI, Palaiologos, the last emperor of Byzantium, stood with dignity at the head of a city on the brink. His forces numbered barely 7,000, Greeks, Venetians, Genoese, and even a handful of volunteers from across Christendom. They faced an army more than 10 times their size. Yet the emperor declared, "I will not abandon my city. I will die with my people, rather than live as a slave." As the Ottomans encircled the city, the sea offered little refuge. Mehmed's fleet closed the Bosporus, cutting off supplies and reinforcements. But Constantinople's defenders were resourceful. They stretched a massive iron chain across the Golden Horn, blocking enemy ships from entering the harbor. But Constantinople's defenders repaired every breach by torchlight. The city became a battlefield of fire and dust, prayers rising from churches while cries of soldiers echoed from the ramparts. Dawn broke on the 29th of May, 1453. A crimson glow touched the horizon, and with it came the thunder of drums, horns, and the shouts of tens of thousands of men. After 7 relentless weeks, Sultan Mehmed II gave the order for the final assault. The fate of Constantinople, and of an empire that had endured for 1,000 years, would be decided this day. The first wave rushed forward. The Byzantines fought fiercely, cutting down the first attackers with arrows, stones, and boiling oil. Then came the second wave, Anatolian troops more disciplined and better armed. Giustiniani, the Genoese captain, led his men along the walls, rallying the tired and wounded. Amid the chaos, Giustiniani was struck down, gravely wounded. Finally, the Janissaries advanced. On the walls, Constantine the Fiend fought like the soldier he had always been. He vanished in the chaos, his body never found. The fall of Constantinople was more than the loss of a city. It was the end of an age. For 1,000 years, the Byzantine Empire had been a bridge between ancient Rome and medieval Europe, between Christianity and the East, between the Old World and the New. With its collapse, the balance of history shifted forever. For the Ottomans, victory brought glory beyond measure. Sultan Mehmed II, now called the Conqueror, entered Constantinople with solemn triumph. He rode through streets still echoing with the cries of battle, past ruins and broken gates until he reached the Hagia Sophia. There, in the greatest church of Christendom, he gave thanks for his victory, dedicating it to God as a mosque. The city was reborn, no longer Constantinople but Istanbul, the heart of a new empire that would dominate 3 continents for centuries to come. The empire fell, but Byzantium's legacy endures, echoing through history as a reminder that every end sparks a new beginning.